Hello everybody, Wolfpack here, and welcome to this week's SimWrap. Already, 2026 has proven to be quite the interesting year for our niche, and it looks like that is going to continue. With the release of Task Force Admiral, the new DCS World and Beyond trailer, and the upcoming Uboat DLC, it looks like we are in for quite an interesting year. There's been lots of news, so let's get into it. We are going to start with the elephant in the room, the DLC for the game Uboat. The folks over at Deepwater Studio have been working hard on their new Type 9 DLC for Uboat. This project has been in the works for quite some time now. The DLC is adding multiple variants of the Type 9 U-boat, new missions, and much more. Unfortunately, the DLC was delayed until April 17th. That is where the bad news ends though, as this delay will add polish and some expanded features such as external watertight torpedo canisters to the game. For some context on these external torpedoes, U-boats would carry them earlier in the war. They were, however, phased out as the war continued because it became too dangerous to surface and load these external eels into the boat. The process of actually loading them into the boat took about an hour, and Allied air cover over the Atlantic made this impractical. Additionally, as Allied ASW improved, U-boats were forced deeper and deeper, and the external watertight containers could not withstand the depths. I am interested to see how the U-boat devs handle this. Hopefully we will have it be an option, kind of like the deck gun, so later in the war they are removed. That's not all for the good news regarding the DLC though. The DLC is only going to be $16.99 USD. I was very surprised to see this price. Frankly, I figured the U-boat devs could charge a lot more. This certainly seems like a steal though, and I look forward to seeing the Type 9 in action soon. I know a lot of folks have been asking when I will hop back into U-boat. I was originally waiting for this DLC to drop, but since it's been delayed, we are heading back into the Atlantic soon. DCS World has had their annual DCS World and Beyond video drop. There was some pretty neat stuff teased in it. These videos show off some of the future modules and features Eagle Dynamics and their partners are working on. In the video, an infantry overhaul is shown off. Soldiers will board onto helicopters, have lots of idle animations, and when engaged with the enemy, will even throw grenades. The animations look incredibly well done. I mean, even tiny things like recoil are modeled, and these things will really bring the battlefield to life and will be good for cinematic shots. Regardless, it is going to be pretty cool to have this in the game. I think it will be a very nice feature for helicopter pilots out there flying at low level. Providing close air support. Some other aircraft shown off in the video were the F-14BU by Heatblur, the F-104 Starfighter, F-100, and the Tornado. Lots of Cold War jets in the pipeline, which I'm personally fond of. The F-104 Starfighter is an aircraft in particular that is right up my alley. The Pacific Asset Pack is another thing I'm really looking forward to, and it was shown off quite a bit in the video. It showed numerous sea, air, and land assets that have been in the works. This includes aircraft like the B-6N Jill, SB-2C Helldiver, the PBY Catalina, and more. One aircraft that wasn't shown off much, that I was really hoping to see more of in the trailer, is the Hellcat, which is a flyable module and presumably the next warbird we are going to see in DCS. I figure this is an aircraft we would be seeing soon, so I was surprised not to see much of it in the trailer. Do you think we will end up seeing the Hellcat this year? Okay, this video is jam-packed with new stuff, but only a couple of big things to cover now. The big module reveal at the end of the video is the Rafale, which is officially being licensed by Dassault. The module is being made by Heatblur and other partners. These teases at the end of the video are typically a few years away at best. Although interesting, I'm not super excited about this yet. What really caught my eye in the DCS World and Beyond trailer is the new dynamic campaign screenshots. ED showed off some of the interface, and I have to say it looks really good. The UI is clean and readable. It kind of looks like the mission editor. We can see all of our flights, order a battle, what logistics are up to, etc. It also appears the dynamic campaign will be available for multiple maps, not just the Caucasus, which was rumored. More good news there. This tease was the most exciting thing for me in the whole trailer. Real visible progress on the dynamic campaign is really great to see, Now, I'm hopeful we may see more of this year, although I am not holding my breath. Regardless, what was the most interesting part of the video for you? I did leave out a lot of things like the LA7 and the Mirage F1. If I went over everything that was teased or shown off in the video, we would be here forever. If you want a better breakdown of it, I can highly recommend Shamrock15 over on the Stormbird's website, or the breakdown by Tricker on YouTube, or any other number of DCS content creators who cover the stuff in more detail. Sticking with the whole air theme, we've got some news out of the IL-2 Cliffs of Dover team. A video was released showing the in-game beta footage of the new patch that is in the works. This feature includes True Sky implementation, which overhauls the clouds and skybox, and also VR implementation, which I know a lot of people have requested. There is still no anticipated release date for this as far as I know. This patch has been in the works for quite some time, but this is the first progress we have seen in quite some time. IL-2 Korea had a couple of dev blogs as well. One showed off the various medals that will be available in the career mode. There will be a total of 66 awards in the game, and the developers stated that an additional 30 will be added in the first year as part of their DLCs. This indicates to me that more branches will be added. The United States Navy, I believe, is all but certain, and potentially another branch as well. Maybe the Royal Air Force? Time will tell. The developers also showcased the F-84E cockpit. Throughout the years, the developers have showcased all the cockpits in the planned aircraft set, and it looks like the F-84 is the last one. The dev blog goes into detail about all the components in the cockpit, and it looks quite detailed. It is lacking texturing, but I'm sure we will see that soon with the release of Korea right around the corner. Battleship Command is a game that puts you in command of Scharnhorst during the Battle of the Atlantic. The devs reported that they have been working on AI pathfinding, terrain shading, and the dynamic weather system. Of course, in these sorts of simulators, weather is incredibly important, and Battleship Command's implementation looks very good, probably some of the most detailed we have seen in a while. There's a whole video available showcasing sailing into a storm system off of Norway in the game. It was a short development blog, but very interesting to see this already implemented nonetheless. It does appear the weather is truly dynamic and doesn't just change at the flip of a switch like we see in so many other games. Our last story for today is Wolf, a co-op submarine simulator that I discussed in the last episode, has made quite remarkable progress. On their YouTube channel, there are videos of the developers operating the submarine together, which already has a full interior, and even attacking a ship. Mechanics like reloading torpedoes manually, managing diesel engines, and using the TDC are already operational in-game. Personally, I was quite shocked to see all of these features in the game and actually working. It has me optimistic for what this game has in store. For a project that it seemingly came out of nowhere, this is truly impressive to see. I was originally unsure about this project. Like a lot of these indie projects, I was afraid the devs may have bitten off more than they can chew, but this progress is undeniable. I look forward to seeing how this project continues to evolve. Well, folks, that is going to do it for today's video. I do hope you all enjoyed it. Are there any stories this week that particularly piqued your interest? Let me know down below. Anyway, this is Wolfpack345 signing off, and I will see you all on the next one.